I just had a major panic attack. I don't get them very often, but it was bad. When I first wake up in the morning, my first 20-30 minutes awake, I'm kind of dopey. I can't take in too much stimuli or anything. It's just, my brain just won't do it. It's Sunday morning, and every Sunday morning I usually make pancakes, and it's usually kind of a laid back type of thing. But this morning I opened the back door to try and just get some fresh air going through the house and everything. But there were these kids playing in the field behind my house, which were making my dogs kind of just bark and lose their shit. Then one of the chickens started screaming and running across the yard, so I thought there was some sort of predator, so I had to go running out in the yard to try and see what was going on. I didn't see anything, but they were on all high alert after that, so they all started making really a lot of noise. And noise stimuli is one of my biggest triggers. It's one of those things that really just kind of like gets my emotion level just kind of amping up. And I was trying to come down from that already because last night my wife and I went to this event, and it was in this little crowded room, and it was so loud, and I even had to put my earplugs in to just kind of deal with the situation because I don't handle that level of stimuli very well. So trying to come to life with dogs barking, kids behind the fence, chickens freaking out, it got to be like, it was rising. And my wife doesn't realize that all this is starting to get to me on this level and everything. And she's looking at bad news on TikTok and online, and then starts freaking out about news that's happening in the world. I can't even really fully remember what she was talking about, but it seemed like she was talking about like these people that were being taken to these prison camps all throughout the country or out of the country. And then she started getting worried about me. Then she started saying things like, well, I'm starting to get really nervous about this sort of thing. Like, what if they start coming for influencers next? What if they don't like that you're speaking out against him, and then they take you off to one of these places? And I tried to explain, I was like, I would probably be very, very, very low on their priority list. I mean, there's people in politics, there's people in the media, and there's influencers who are way bigger platforms than I have. Then she said something along the lines of, I can't believe that we even have to worry about stuff like this in our country in the year 2025. And I was just like, yeah. Just about that time, one of the chickens freaked out again and just flew across the yard, just bah, 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 bah. Once again, I run outside trying to figure out what's going on, and my anxiety level is pretty much topping out at this point. And about that time, my wife goes, uh-oh, it looks like somebody tracked some chicken shit into the house. And of course they did, because why wouldn't that happen? I almost burned breakfast. The tea kettle's steaming so much that it's almost empty. And my brain is also trying to figure out about 50 things that I need to do over the next couple of days. I sat down to eat. I tried to pour syrup on my pancakes, and then I seized up and had basically like a seizure type situation going on. My vision went blurry. My muscles were so tight that it just felt like they were all just going to start popping at any moment. I made a mess all over my plate, but I tried to put the syrup down, get up, and just start walking around and trying to breathe, trying to just bring some life back into me because I felt like I was out of control. And the fact that I lost control made me furious with myself because I should be able to handle anything that comes my way, right? And it's not like something major happened. It was just life. And it just got to be too much in that moment. Then one of the chickens came to the door and started barking really loud, and I just screamed, "Shut the fuck up!" Then my wife went on high alert, and she was just like, it's okay, breathe. And she got an ice pack and said, put this on the back of your neck. And I was like, what is that gonna do? And she's like, just do it. It kind of like brings you out of it. And I was just like, okay, I'll give it a try. I mean, maybe it helped. Or maybe it was the fact that I was focused on the fact that I didn't think that it was going to work, that I wasn't thinking of everything else that was stressing me out at that moment. I'm just like, this is stupid. This isn't going to work. But regardless, I started coming back down to earth, which is where I needed to be. And now all the things that I wanted to do today seem very insignificant, and I feel exhausted. It feels like I expended half a day's worth of energy in about 30 seconds. And over the past decade, I've probably had maybe one other panic attack this bad, and it was a little bit worse than that. But I thought that I was through with these things. And it's times like these that I'm pretty sure that I'm somewhat on the spectrum, because it's just too much stimuli at one time, and it just overloads me. I don't know that I really have a point to this video. I just went through that and felt like I needed to talk it through on some level. I figured there's probably at least some of you out there who could relate to this situation. And if you can, it might make you feel a little bit better that other people go through this too. A lot of people just don't talk about it. But I do think it's crucial for mental health for us to talk through these situations whenever we have them. Anyway, I can't think of a good closing line for this, so just pretend I ended this with something witty and funny.